You don't need to leave your comfort zone. That advice, the one that's been repeated to you 1,000 times, is actually the reason you never start. Because if leaving the comfort zone means one giant leap, your brain will fight you every single time. And you keep waiting for a version of yourself that feels ready. She's not coming. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why just get out of your comfort zone is actually terrible advice and the real reason your brain blocks you from starting that project you keep postponing. If you have a goal collecting dust right now, this video is going to sting a little. But stay until the end, because I'm going to give you the one small step that gets you moving today, not someday. Here's the first myth almost everyone believes: that motivation comes first and action comes after. That one day you'll wake up feeling brave, confident, ready, and that's when you'll finally start. So you wait, you research a little more, you make one more plan, and the goal stays exactly where it was, month after month. Notice that. It's not that you failed to start. It's that you're still waiting for permission from a feeling that was never going to show up on its own. Here's what's actually happening in your brain, and it has nothing to do with laziness. Your brain has a built-in threat detection system, mainly shaped by evolution to catch physical danger. But researchers have found that this same system also fires in response to psychological and social threats, uncertainty, judgment, the risk of failing at something new. Starting a business, posting your first video, sending that hard message, none of that is dangerous, but it's unfamiliar, and unfamiliar reads as unsafe to a brain built for a much older world. So it does what it's built to do. It pulls you back toward whatever feels safe and familiar. And the bigger the step you imagine, the louder that alarm goes off. Leave your comfort zone sounds inspiring, but to that alarm system, a giant leap looks like exactly the kind of risk it exists to stop. Of course, it resists. There is also a reinforcement piece to this, and it's one of the oldest, best documented findings in behavioral science. Every time you avoid the scary task and go back to something familiar, scrolling, tidying up, researching one more article, the anxiety drops. And that drop in anxiety is itself a reward. Psychologists call this negative reinforcement. So avoidance doesn't just feel neutral, it actively gets reinforced little by little, every single time you choose it. That's the trap. The more you avoid starting, the stronger avoidance gets wired in, and the scarier starting feels by comparison. Now here's the second myth, and this one keeps people stuck for years. The idea that if you just had more discipline, more willpower, you'd finally push through. So when it doesn't work, you don't blame the strategy, you blame yourself. I'm just not disciplined enough. I'm lazy. Other people can do it, so something's wrong with me. But here's what researchers who study procrastination actually find. It's rarely about willpower at all. It's about emotion. Procrastination researchers Fusha Sirois and Timothy Pitchell describe it as a short-term mood repair habit You're not avoiding the task, you're avoiding the uncomfortable feeling attached to it. Boredom, doubt, fear of doing it badly. Which means the fix was never try harder. It's making that uncomfortable feeling small enough to tolerate. Not because you're weak, because you were solving the wrong problem. Let me make this concrete. Imagine two people who both want to start a small side project. Let's say learning to cook proper meals instead of ordering out every night. Person 1 decides, starting Monday, I'm cooking every dinner from scratch. Monday comes, it feels overwhelming, they order out anyway, and they feel like a failure. Person 2 decides something almost embarrassingly small. I'm going to chop one vegetable tonight. That's it. They chop the vegetable. It takes 90 seconds. And because they're already standing in the kitchen, holding a knife next to a stove, they often just keep going. Not because they force themselves, because the hardest part, starting, was already behind them, and the feeling they were avoiding never had time to build up. That's the entire mechanism, not more discipline, a smaller door to walk through. So here's what actually works. Behavior scientists, including BJ Fogg, who runs the Behavior Design Lab at Stanford, have spent decades studying exactly this. Make the first step so small it barely registers as effort. Not write the business plan, just open a blank document. Not go to the gym for an hour, just put on your shoes. Not launch the project, just send one message to one person about it. This isn't about tricking yourself. It's about keeping the task under the size where fear or dread has room to build. A step small enough to finish in 2 minutes doesn't trigger much of a feeling at all, so there is nothing to avoid. And here's the part almost nobody tells you. Motivation tends to show up after you start, not before. Researchers who study behavior change call this the action-motivation loop. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates motivation, not the other way around. Once you're in, document open, shoes on, message sent, continuing is far easier than starting ever was. You've already gotten past the part your brain was flagging. That's the real way people leave their comfort zone. Not with one dramatic leap, but with a step so small it barely counts. Repeated until it isn't small anymore. And this doesn't only apply to business ideas or side projects. The same resistance shows up before a hard conversation you've been avoiding, with a partner, a friend, a boss. It shows up before the doctor's appointment you keep meaning to schedule, before the gym you haven't walked into in months, before the resume you haven't updated in years. In every single one of these, the pattern is identical. The task itself usually isn't the hard part. Imagining the whole thing at once is. So the same fix applies everywhere. Not have the hard conversation. Just write down the first sentence you'd say. Not go to the doctor. Just open the app and look at available times. You don't have to solve the whole category of avoidance in your life today. Pick one, just one, and shrink it down to 2 minutes. minutes. Here's why this matters beyond just today's task. Every time you take the small step instead of avoiding it, you're not just making progress on the project, you're weakening the pattern of avoidance a little. Each completed small step is evidence to you that this category of task is survivable, even doable. Do that enough times, and the same task that used to feel like a wall starts to feel like just a Tuesday. That's not motivation. That's not personality change. That's repetition teaching you through direct experience that the alarm was overreacting. Meanwhile, the giant leap approach teaches the opposite lesson every time it fails. See, that thing really is scary. We were right to avoid it. It makes the wall taller, not shorter. So forget the giant leap. Forget waiting to feel ready. Pick the project you've been postponing and find the smallest possible version of starting it. Something you could do in the next 2 minutes. Not the whole thing, just the first 2 minutes of it. I know it feels almost too small to count. That's exactly the point. Small enough that you'll actually do it today, instead of planning to do the big version someday. If you're doing this right now, leave a comment telling me what your 2-minute step is. I want to see it. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. And remember, you don't need to feel ready. You just need 2 minutes.